Tade from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
Hello, Darren Patterson.
Hello, sir. Hello, hello, hello. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey, all right. I thought I lost you there, fella.
Yeah, no. I don't know. These beginnings, they're always awkward. I never know how to start these conversations. It's fine once we get it going, but like at the beginning, it's always just, ugh, it's so artificial.
Yeah, it's like conversations in real life, or meeting somebody for a blind date, where you're just like, "Hey, so what do you do? Where are you from?
Yeah. What's your major?
What's your sign?"
Oh, right. We're not in college. It's not the 1970s. I can't ask either of those things.
No, you can. I think like zodiac signs are back in now.
Are they? Okay.
I think so. I always see people online, tweeting about Mercury rising and the seventh moon in the house of the Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. House of the rising sun. Or maybe it's just the people I follow. They're a bunch of weirdos.
No, I haven't seen that. Okay, I didn't know that's the trend now. That's interesting. I guess I don't.
We're in the age of Aquarius, baby.
I'm not a big believer in astrology. I never have been, and I have there are good reasons for that.
Sounds like exactly what a Taurus would say.
Well, not a Taurus, but okay.
Damn it! I took a shot in the dark and shot me.
You
right
had a
in
1 in 12 chance, and you blew it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think there's a very good reason that I'm not a believer in astrology. The people I share my birthday with are, let's see, Dom DeLuise.
Ooh.
Tempest Bledsoe from The Cosby Show.
Okay.
Coolio.
I'm listening.
And what's his name? The Aquaman guy.
Oh, Momoa?
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
Okay. Yeah, that's a perfect...
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I have tons in common with all those people.
I could see it. I could see you sitting down for dinner with Coolio and Vanessa from The Cosby Show and Jason Momoa, right, and just talking nonstop about everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because, you look at all of us, it's like we're separated at birth.
Yeah, I think for me, if I'm not mistaken, who has my birthday? I think, what was it? Eva Longoria.
Oh, nice.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Sure. Yeah, I've always liked you too.
Judd Hirsch. And
I thought you were going to say Apatow, but Judd Hirsch is cooler.
No, yeah. And I believe Fabio has my birthday as well.
Fabio!
That's the one I always say for last.
I have Coolio, you have Fabio. I love this. Love this.
Coolio, Fabio.
Coolio, Fabio.
So, yeah.
I think we have new nicknames.
I think so. Tade from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds. I'm your co-host, Fabio.
And I'm your co-host, Coolio.
Oh, God. Folks, chime in. Let us know if you want us to begin the podcast this way for now on.
Yeah. So... Anyway, yeah, that's why I think astrology is crock shit.
Okay. It's exactly what a Capricorn would say.
Leo.
Damn it! All right, I should have. All right, well.
You had a 1 in 11 shot.
Yeah, that's typical Pisces of me.
Yeah. Is Pisces March?
Yes, March 15. Ides of March.
You're Pisces. Okay, all right.
Ides of March, baby.
All right, yeah, I know April is Taurus because that's when my mom's birthday rolls around.
Okay.
And let's see, my sister's in January, but I can't remember what her sign is. I don't pay attention to much of that sort of thing. Okay.
All right, I hear you. All right, you're all about facts. You're not about the woo-woo science of astrology. We get it.
Yeah.
You don't collect crystals and I don't know, numerology, whatever the
they're minimal. Oh shit! That joke would have been good if I hadn't stumbled over it. I was going to say they're minerals Marie, but that's tough to say.
Springsteen.
Minerals Marie. That is tough. That's a tough thing. Yeah.
Breaking Bad. All right.
I was doing the Breaking Bad reference. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I'll allow it. I like what you did there.
But it's tough to say they're minerals Marie.
Yes.
it's very tough. You have to sort of slow down and say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
yeah. Okay. Well, now you're just showing off.
Yeah. Hey-o.
All right. So anyway, we're hi. We're John. We're Darren. We're the SNL nerds. We're here to talk about SNL and chew bubblegum, and we're all out of bubblegum.
Absolutely.
And this week we're here to talk about season 50, episode 2 from October 5th, 2024, with returning host Nate Bargatze and musical guest Coldplay.
Yeah. Nate Bargatze, stand-up comic, made a strong impression his first time out last season. One of the stronger episodes, I'd say, he
Yes.
came out with. So yeah, it makes sense that they'd want to have him back. I think
Yeah.
this time around they definitely know how to write for him better. Because I mean, Nate Bargatze as an actor, improv, performer, not doesn't have the biggest of range, the widest of range, really.
No, but that's
He's
fine.
Yeah, that's fine. He just has that sort of deadpan thing he does, and it seems like the writers really know how to kind of write for him now and how to play up his strengths. I think that
Yes.
showed throughout the episode. Like,
I would
I mean,
agree. I would agree. They did a nice job tailoring this episode to him.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, I thought cards on the table. I think this episode was definitely a step up from
Oh yeah,
last week's.
I think it was a couple steps up. Yeah,
Yeah. No, this was better. This was better. I
this was
think.
better. I mean, if this is like an average episode for this season, I will be very very happy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Good episode. Nothing bottomed out. I'd say nothing was a total fluke. So yeah,
No, yeah, I don't think I looked at anything and was like, "Oh, that was a total waste of time."
yeah.
So
But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into this
okay,
episode.
all right. So first off, we have the VP debate cold open
Mm.
with Kamala and Doug watching the VP debate. We got Maya Rudolph, Andy Samberg back as the second couple. I guess you'd call them the second couple.
Yeah, I guess that's about right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
because
got.
I mean,
Did you
yeah,
watch the VP debate first of all
I
on Tuesday?
didn't. I did not. Like, I already
Okay.
know who I'm gonna vote for, and I don't know. To be honest, like, I just to see Trump or Vance talk, like, it just kind of I break out in hives. I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah,
This is insane. That person is clearly not fit for this job, and the fact that he's made it this far is just kind of makes my stomach turn. So like,
yeah.
no, I haven't seen it. But from what I hear,
Okay.
it was actually a pretty like civil debate, and they actually found some common ground. I remember somebody tweeting out, "Oh yeah, this is what debates were like before 2016."
Yeah.
Like,
It was mostly like them talking policy. There weren't like a lot of cheap shots and things like that. So it was very refreshing in that regard because, like, Vance, evil motherfucker, but he can string a sentence together. He's coherent.
that's
So I'll
that's
give
the
him
bar.
that.
Yeah, that's the bar. No, that's where the
Yeah,
bar is at.
yeah. It really is. It really is. It's just it's nuts how much insanity has been normalized in the last decade.
Really
Um,
is. Like, ay.
but okay, so yeah, so I watched the real debate, so I kind of had that in mind when I was watching the sketch, and so I have a few problems with the sketch because of that. I think.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
we got Heidi and Chloe as the CBS moderators, and I remember like when the debate aired on Tuesday, people were like, "Oh yeah, Chloe Feynman's totally going to play that other moderator," and yep, they were right.
Yeah. Does she look a lot like Chloe?
Yeah, there is a resemblance, definitely.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And we had, so once again, we have Bowen Yang as JD Vance and Jim Gaffigan as Tim Walls. So that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way that they kind of structured this cold open, like because like usually because we knew there would be a VP debate in the cold open, like for sure. But I like the way they kind of flipped it, where instead of just them recreating the VP debate, like kind of verbatim, beat for beat, they flipped it up so it was Kamala and Doug watching it from home. So
Yeah.
you have like you have the sort of they're telling two stories, whereas it's the debate and it's Kamala and Doug and like their thoughts on it. So I was like, oh, that's a good way
Yeah,
to break it up.
I feel like they wrote it that way because they were just like, okay, well, we've got all these ringers playing Kamala. Doug and Biden, so we got to get them into this somehow, and that was probably the most organic way they could do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine. They had I like the joke about Walls grading papers. He was like grading midterms during debates because he was like a lot of times during the debate he was looking down because he was like taking notes. Um,
Right. And yeah, and there were jokes, of course, about uh, where I guess Walt was saying he was at Tiananmen Square at some time, and but he had
yeah,
to sort of clarify. And it's like, oh well, I got mixed up. I was actually at Epcot, and I was,
right, right.
and I,
Yeah,
you
that was
know,
cute. And they made a bit of a joke about how they agreed a lot, and Kamala was saying like, why are they friends? Why are they vibing? And we have Carvey coming in as Joe Biden, and Carvey I feel like has really nailed the current characterization of Biden as this sort of addled guy.
yeah,
So
like I really think, I mean, out of all the Bidens we gotten, this might be the best Biden since maybe Sudeikis, I'd say.
yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah, like because he
And
like
and it feels like the Biden of the moment. So
yes,
yeah,
it feels like modern day Biden, definitely. Like I was
yeah.
even watching it, like the way that Dana Carvey is sort of kind of has that catchphrase of his, guess what? And
Hmm.
by the way, like it seems like he took that catchphrase, that thing that
Hmm.
Biden actually does say. I actually saw some old Biden
Yeah,
clips, and he actually does say, and by the way. So I feel like
yeah, yeah,
Carvey took that and sort of built the whole impression around that, sort of the same way he did with George Bush, and not going to do it, and
yeah.
with Perot, with kind of finish
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the way.
Carvey is excellent at finding like a small thing to magnify in his impressions, and then he makes an exaggerated portrait of the person out of that. And yeah, I mean, that's why I think he's one of the best impressionists that SNL has ever had. And I feel like he does nail like what the current perception of Biden is. As this well-meaning but somewhat befuddled older guy, and you can debate on how accurate that is at the moment, but I feel like Carvey is really nailing it. And I mean, the stuff he did with the ice cream cone was hilarious.
Yeah, so
Just
there was one point where there were um, Biden and Kamala and Doug were watching the debates, and there were, I think they were kind of iffy on it because Waltz came back with that one question to Vance about like, will you say that Trump lost the 2020 election,
right.
and Vance said like, I'm looking forward to the future, man,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they counted
Which
that
which
as a
was a
win.
moment in the real debate. Yeah,
Oof. Yeah, and they counted that as a win, and they cut back
yeah.
to Kamala and Biden's just eating a soft serve ice cream, just out of
Hmm.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think at
And
one
then and
point,
then he swings his arm and he just sticks it right in Maya's face, and it's
yep,
like dripping off her chin onto her blouse.
yeah, it was a
And
nice, funny little moment there.
yeah, yeah. And then like when they're getting ready to say live from New York, Carvey just like tosses it forward, and I was like, "Oh, I feel bad for the poor stagehand who had to clean up that ice cream cone before the monologue."
Yeah, he just chucks that shit, just tosses like, I'm done
I
with
hope
this.
they had like a bucket or something for him to chuck that into,
I hope so. It's like some
because
poor.
like I don't know, if you've ever seen the time lapse, they have like literally like 2 minutes to remake home base for the monologue and clear off all the set stuff, and
Yeah,
there is like it is like down to the last second. So
yeah.
yeah.
Somebody
Um,
get out the Swiffer.
yeah, I, this was decent. I feel weird that they skipped over some of Vance's stuff. Like they totally skipped over the moment in the debate where Vance's mic got muted because he just kept going on, and I was like,
Oh,
that's really weird because that was kind of ripe for parody.
yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
feel a little weird about that, but
Yeah, I mean, they did mention the fact that like I remember another moment from what I heard, like about how he said, "Oh, I thought you weren't going to fact check this. Don't fact check that. Don't fact check anything about what I'm saying right now."
yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was. I mean, and also I will admit maybe they did it for time because I will one
Hmm.
thumbs up I guess I'll give about this cold open is that it was shorter than it was last week. This was a
Yeah, this
nice
was what, like 8 minutes?
yeah. a good 5 minutes shorter than the cold open from last week. So I was like,
Well, true, yeah,
so I was like, thumbs up.
yeah. I mean, they weren't trying to cover an entire summer in one sketch. So
Absolutely. So,
yeah,
but I see what you mean. They could have done more stuff to include more things about what Vance did. But overall,
yeah,
I thought it was a pretty decent, pretty solid cold open.
yeah. I just my caveat is just like if somebody had an idea of what the debate was like just from the sketch, I feel like they'd be getting sort of a distorted impression.
Yeah,
So
no, fair enough.
uh,
Because they did include the thing with Walls and the "I'm friends with school shooters" thing. But yeah, they should have maybe
yeah,
mentioned the mic muting thing as well. But maybe they had
yeah,
to.
because that
Maybe they
was
had
a
to.
bigger moment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they had to cut it for time because Nate's cold open or Nate's monologue rather. I don't know,
Yeah.
but either way, decent cold open. I will say that.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, should we talk about Nate's monologue?
Nate Bargatze monologue, hand mic.
Hand mic, because he's a stand-up comedian. And it's the law.
That's right. Yeah, it's basically his stand-up set. A lot of
Mhm.
jokes about how he's not very bright. How he
Went to
went to
community college.
yes, because people there when people that go to community college like they those people are probably going to be staying in your community. Like that's how they
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
treat you. It
Talked
talks
about
about
how he took speech class. And
yes, because he had the trouble saying oil. He says
yeah.
oil, and
Yeah.
instead of olive oil, he says olive oil.
Yeah. Because he's Southern, and that's how they say
Yeah,
it down there.
you know how those yokels say it, right, John? Yeah.
And then he segued into extra virgin olive oil, and he's like, "No, I just want the regular amount of virgin olive oil. I don't need extra."
Which is a funny
That was
little
cute.
joke. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
joke.
talked about
Uh,
how he hasn't eaten a raspberry since he till he was 40.
yeah, he had that nice line. It's like, look, I didn't see raspberries growing up. I didn't come from money.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, I pointed at a bowl of raspberries, and I said, "What, what is that?" And people were like, "Oh, that's a bowl," because they couldn't conceive that I didn't know what a raspberry was.
Well, obviously he knows what raspberries are, so it
Yeah,
makes more sense that he doesn't know what a bowl is.
and
Yeah,
I liked his DoorDash material. Talking about how he uses DoorDash like it's Tinder.
yeah.
Like,
Just some good stuff in here, like a lot of relatable material, just kind of
mhm.
everyman stuff. Um, decent, decent monologue, I thought.
Yeah, it was fun. It's just fun that it's just good, solid stand up. Nothing topical about it. Just yeah, it's
Yeah,
just funny.
not offensive,
It's
not here to rattle any cages. Just
yeah, no, just funny jokes, man.
yeah, just talk about DoorDash and contactless delivery, and just get right on out.
Double dashing it. Talking
Double.
about ordering from two different restaurants and DoorDash and how the drivers are arriving at the same time.
Yeah, and like
And
one of them has to let the other one in. It's like, oh no, you go first. Which I didn't
yeah,
even know about Double Dash. I didn't know that was a thing.
I've never double dashed. I mean, I kind of want to try it now, though.
Oh wow, just for the thrill of it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
rush, man.
It's like they're having a race.
Yeah, it's a race against the clock.
Yeah. Is my
Uh,
blizzard going to arrive first or is my meal going to arrive first? I don't know, man.
place your bets.
Yeah.
Come on, DraftKings, get on this. But yeah, decent monologue. Decent.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoyable. Look, I always enjoy seeing like a stand up post because I know if nothing else, even if the rest of the show sucks, we're going to get some solid stand up. And this
Absolutely.
was no disappointment.
Nope, not at
So,
all. Yeah. So first sketch of the episode, the sketch we all kind of knew was gonna happen. It's the sequel to Washington's Dream 2.
yeah, yeah. To
Uh,
no one's surprise, really. I mean, we
Let's,
we knew they
yeah.
were going to try and follow this up somehow.
Yeah, like
Um,
part of me was hoping, well, maybe they have, I don't know, like, because part of me thinks, well, these are SNL writers. These are supposed to be the best of the best, cream of the
right.
crop. So they should have like a wealth of different other ideas that they can just pop out of their heads. But uh,
But counterpoint,
yes.
11 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
So this
Uh,
this was inevitable, I think. I mean, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it. I mean, I think if I were in Lauren's shoes, I would have done the same. I would have been like, it would be nice if we had something in the vein of Washington's Dream for this show, because that
maybe
did well for us last.
maybe do a sequel there, Mikey. You want to do a
Yeah,
sequel? Yeah. So this one's written by Mikey Funtime and Mike DeCenzo,
yeah,
and yeah,
and
it's
and Streeter,
oh yeah, Streeter, of course.
yeah,
Um,
Streeter
um,
Seidel, head writer.
yes. Oh yeah, he's the one that retweeted this. Okay. Yeah, Streeter,
Yes.
Mike. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Streeter. Apologies.
I mean, look, if Mikey Day wrote a sketch, chances are it was co-written with Streeter
Yeah,
and maybe a couple other people too.
two of them
So
are partners in crimes. They're thick as thieves.
so this time, it's pretty much the same setup as before. We got, except this time it's during Washington's crossing of the Delaware, and so we
Right.
got Bargatze as Washington. We got Bowen and James Austin Johnson and Keenan and who was the fourth?
Mikey.
It was Mikey. Mikey, of course. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, it's basically it's pretty much beat for beat the same as the first Washington's Dream, except he brings up new things that he wants to sort of
right.
enact in the new country, like and when the new world is here, we'll have uh one word. We'll have a word for the number 12, dozen, and like, well, what about the
Yes.
other numbers? They won't have a word. Only
No.
only 12 will have its own words, and people will
Yeah.
be free to spell words differently, like the word donut or the
Yeah.
name
Or the
Jeff.
name Jeff. Yeah.
Yes, which is weird that there's like that way to spell Jeff with the G. Like
I always want to see it GOF. You know,
Geoff.
it's it's just a weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt the same way when I found out that Sean spells Sean. Like that's seen, right? Am I nuts in thinking that?
It does look like scene. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's everybody's like, no, it's not Scene Bean, it's Sean Bean. I'm like, hey,
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
I'm cool with it because of Sean Connery. So
Yes. Oh, okay, that's true. All right.
look, the man can spell his name any way he wants. So I actually think of the Sean as the normal way to spell Sean now.
Wow,
Like the Sean Cassidy way. Get out of here with that shit.
hot
Yeah,
takes.
it makes more
Controversial.
sense, but the cooler Sean spell it like Sean Connery
Yes,
and Sean Bean.
it's Scene of the Dead, not Shaun of the Dead.
That's right. That's right.
Wow,
Yeah,
controversial takes, sir.
I will die on this hill.
We.
They
And
also
he,
talk about how we're going to have two names for animals. One when they're alive, and then another one when they're food. Um,
yes,
so
Cat,
cows are beef, pigs are pork, and chicken. That one stays.
yes. Hamburger will of course be made out of beef, not ham.
Right.
But don't worry, hot dogs will not be made out of dogs.
Right. Yes.
And then he's asking, well,
And then when James L. Johnson just says, "Shouldn't we know what's in a hot dog?" He just says, "Get out of the
what? Get out, just get out.
boat," and yeah, forces him overboard. That was cute.
Right.
Um,
Talking about how our children will in the school system with our children, like the first year of school will be called kindergarten, second year of
mhm,
school, first grade.
yeah, there'll be 12 grades, and then and then you say, "Oh, so a dozen grades." And I think my favorite read of the sketch was him just going, "That's no,
That's not how that works. No.
no, that's no."
Right.
Uh,
And of course, they
yeah,
also do the runner with Keenan thing, and people like me will be freed from after this war. Is that correct? And then he kind of goes off.
after a war. Yeah,
But it's this war, right? And then he just walks away and doesn't
yeah.
answer the question. Um,
Um, this was all right. It's definitely a downgrade from the first one. I think the fact that they were in a boat, it made the staging really awkward.
yeah, that too. And it
Because
just
there's just not much you can do. You can't really move around real freely when you're even when you're on a fake boat.
yeah, that's true. You can only do so much. And like
Yeah,
it does, I guess, lack the freshness of the first time seeing it because like we already kind of know the beats.
yeah.
And we already know kind of what's going to happen. The jokes are still solid and still good, but it
They're still
like
good. They're reaching a little bit more.
a little bit, yeah. Like I mean, if Nate comes back to host for a third time, which I kind of feel like he might do because they seem to really like him.
I mean, I think he did really well the first time, and I think he did really well last night. So yeah, I would definitely like to see him host again.
Yeah, like part of me hopes that they don't revisit this again. Like I hope this doesn't become his diner lobster, and like he just
Right.
have to keep doing this every time he comes back.
Well, if they do it again, I feel like we got to do something to mix it up a little more.
Yes, absolutely.
Even to the point of him not playing Washington again. Just pick some other moment in history.
Yeah,
Just
that's true.
something more to freshen it up more.
Yeah, we had other wars. We got so many other
Mm-hmm.
wars to choose from.
Yeah, have him be General Patton or whatever. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, General Patton, that guy.
yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
overall, decent. I'll say decent.
Decent. Yeah, I mean, like we knew it was coming. We knew
Yeah.
it probably wasn't going to be as good, and it did. It did fulfill those expectations, I would say,
Yes.
but it was still good. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't a bomb. Nothing. It
no,
wasn't a bomb.
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, there were some funny moments in there, so that's I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Next up, golf tournament written by Streeter and Mikey. The dynamic
Yeah,
duo strikes again.
yeah. The pre-tape, we got Nate as a golfer, Brady Knoll, who he's taking a swing and he like kills a bird. He makes a bird explode.
Yes, just
'Cause-
boom. And I will
Yeah.
say this, like the
Mhm.
graphics in this pre-tape pretty impressive.
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. I mean, because it's actually shot outdoors, and
Yeah, and
yeah, they did a
it's
nice
yeah, it's made
job.
yeah, it's made to look like a outdoor golfing event like you see on the Golf Channel, and it looks pretty impressive. I'd
Hmm.
say for sure. But yeah, so
Yeah, yeah,
he hits his first golf ball, kills a bird immediately. Everybody
right.
gasps in horror. He tries it again, accidentally knocks a nest out of the tree. Sure enough,
Yeah.
oh no, it's a bald eagle's nest.
Oh no, and it's illegal to kill a bald eagle, so he has to like talk with the park rangers and all this,
Yeah,
and then finally when that's cleared up, he's taken another shot in the debris below the tree, and he actually hits a bald eagle egg instead of his ball, and oh no,
yeah. It's just
uh,
basically every time he swings his golf club, he kills an animal.
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
throws
like
his club and it goes into the water, and he kills a snapping turtle mascot, Fairway Fred.
yeah. I did like the after this happened, because Nate's character is wearing like a Nike hat and a Nike shirt.
Yeah,
The people at Nike come out to like cover up the Nike logo he's wearing because they don't want to
yeah,
be associated with him anymore.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, come on, man, really?"
So we see Longfellow come out, put black tape over the Nike logo. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was cute. That was cute. And then the bit at the end, he gets like a hole in one, but then when they're putting the flag into the hole, he stabs a chipmunk that ran into the hole.
Yeah,
Um, I thought this wasn't bad, but it was kind of predictable. I mean, after the first two animals are killed, you kind of know, okay, well, this is how this is going to go.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I guess I wanted another turn in there. So
Um, yeah, that's true. Like once you see what the gag is of, oh, okay, he's just killing animals left and right.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, the escalation doesn't really kind of go further than that. I mean, that's probably why things like somebody from Nike covering up the logo got a bigger
uh oh,
laugh out of me.
suddenly I'm not hearing you.
Oh, hello, hello. Um, you can't hear me? Ah, shit.
Oh wait.
Hello?
I started to hear an ah shit.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
Oh,
can hear you now.
oh, that was weird.
That was
All right.
very weird. I didn't get a notification I lost my connection or anything.
Oh dear. All
That
right.
was weird.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
All
make a
right.
note of it.
So yeah, back up a little bit. You were talking about how it didn't really escalate.
Okay. So yeah, it didn't really escalate as much as I had liked. Maybe that's why like the moments where somebody from Nike comes out to cover up the logo like hit a little bit harder for me because like that's something a little bit more to sort of keep the sketch going. But yeah, overall, I thought the sketch decent. It's a short sketch; it doesn't really overstay its welcome. But yeah, there's not that much escalation. It's just pretty much, hey, we're killing animals and we're out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was decent, but it didn't surprise me too much. So yeah,
Yeah,
so therefore, it's only going to make me laugh a moderate. So
right.
yeah,
I hear
so
you.
a little, not bad, but kind of predictable.
I hear you.
So I'd
Um,
give it, I don't know, a B minus or C plus. One of those. Yeah.
yeah, I give it 4 smashed eagle eggs.
Okay. All right. Um.
Next up, Sabado Gigante.
Ooh, I like the enthusiasm.
Ha
Yes.
ha!
So it's a Spanish game show thing
Yeah,
with
I mean, for this one, I believe was written by Stephen Castillo, Brian
mhm,
Tucker, and Dan Bulla, and of course Marcelo. Because
right,
I don't know how many people know about Sabado Gigante. This is an actual show. It's
right,
actually a show that airs on, I believe, Univision. It's been around like since the
right.
'80s, I want to
Uh
say,
huh.
and it's huge in the Latin community.
Hmm.
And it's just as batshit insane as the sketch portrays it out to be. Like I've seen it, growing up, and like I to this day I still wouldn't know how to explain it to somebody else. It's like
Yeah.
kind of a game show, but kind of a variety show, and
Hmm.
just it kind of plays out like like an acid trip where just weird shit just happens out of
A
nowhere.
lot of attractive women in sparkly
Oh
dresses,
yes,
and
that
yes.
was the main draw for young Darren Patterson. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I was like,
You're like,
hey,
damn it! I
bud.
don't need to speak this language.
Ooh,
I speak the language of attractive women in sparkly dresses.
I speak
so,
the language of love.
this felt like sort of like a spiritual sequel to me to like the soul food sketch that he did last season,
Oh,
where it's like Nate is he's like the uncomfortable white guy in a culture that is not his own. So I
yes.
felt like it had that in common because he plays an audience member, Joshua Rogers, and he wins a raffle. And he like comes up and he's like, "Oh no, I don't need to do this. I'm just here to like kill time. I didn't know what this was."
Yeah, he
And
was visiting Miami. He got free tickets to this show, and now he's
right,
somehow on stage. I thought you were going to say this reminded you a lot of the old Chris Farley, Mike Myers sketch where Chris Farley is on stage at a Japanese game show, and he becomes one of the contestants, but he doesn't speak Japanese. So
oh wow, I don't think I barely remember that.
it's
So no,
yeah,
I didn't make that connection.
it's a sketch
I
from
went
way.
back 1 year to another sketch with the same guy.
I
So
went back
that's
and
how deep my cultural references go.
I hopped into DeLorean. I went way back in time, baby.
You
Uh,
did, you did.
you might be able to find it on YouTube. It's a sketch. Alec Baldwin was the host because I remember he was in it too. It was like
Right.
him, Janine
Back
Garofalo.
when you could still do Yellowface on TV.
Yes, a better time
Yeah.
somewhere. Well, wow. Jokingly, I say that.
Some would say, not us.
Not us, not us. God no, I would
We would
never say
not
that.
say that, but so basically, yeah, Nate's character Joshua Rogers, he's very confused for this whole thing because he doesn't speak Spanish, so he doesn't really know what's going on. I don't speak Spanish, so I only sort of know what's going on from context clues.
Yeah, but I think that plays into that. That actually helps you because you're just as confused and bewildered by everything that's going on as
Mhm.
Joshua Rojas here.
Yes.
Like, so the fact that he says things like he says very calmly, "Oh wow, I think I'm having a panic attack," like things like
Yeah.
that. And then at one point you're asked to pick a number, and
Hmm.
you choose a number, and then some man dressed as a Power Ranger plays a trumpet out of nowhere.
Hmm.
And then at one point the host Marcelo puts on like a top hat made out of astroturf and soccer balls,
Hmm.
and
As you do. Yeah.
yeah, as you do. There's a guy dressed as Dracula. There's a puppet, an orange puppet dressed as a sailor, and
Hmm.
it just seems like a big old fever dream. And
Yeah.
then at the end of it, you win 5 dogs.
Yes. Yes. You win 5 dogs at the end of it. So instantly, yeah. Boom. Love this sketch. You know.
Yes, and it's strong.
Yeah. Put dogs in a sketch. I'm gonna love it. I'm an easy mark.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I thought this sketch was okay. Again, it's like a thing where escalation was kind of there, but not really. Like I guess it played like I guess it more depended on this the random bizarreness of
Hmm.
everything going on. Where
Yeah.
like you not knowing what's happening, and then at one point you said like there's a version of a little boy is dressed up as you out of nowhere that just comes out and runs
Yeah,
around
that was
you.
funny. That was funny. I
Yeah,
like that.
and at
He's
one
like,
point you have to do like karaoke with somebody as a lion dressed up behind you, and
yeah,
like how like the whole thing is just like a big old fever dream.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it was all right. Not my favorite. Pass the time agreeably, but yeah.
yeah, I would say so. But yeah, it definitely wasn't, I would say, bad. It was, but
No.
yeah, but definitely didn't really kind of hook me like I hoped it would. But I did enjoy, the fact that I knew what they were referencing, and just the madcap insanity that is Sabado Gigante was captured on
Yeah,
SNL.
yeah. And I don't know if we gave the writing credits for this one. This was Stephen Castillo, Brian Tucker, Dan Bula, and Marcelo Hernandez. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. So next up, let's go on down to the water park.
Water Park.
So basically, we start off at a water park, and
Hmm.
we hear that their big slide, their big attraction, was closed down for a medical emergency.
The Devil's Dog Drop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that creates an image.
that's a name. Oh, yeah. They create a real image later on. Yeah,
Oh, they do indeed.
yeah.
Uh,
And we find out that their most popular water slide is closed because of a medical emergency, and then we get into the sketch, and there's a guy who's died at the top of the water slide. A
yeah,
fellow
it's
who's
a
like in his 80s, passed away right at the top, right when he was about to go.
Yeah, we see the EMTs are there. We see
Hmm.
Longfellow and Bargatze put a sheet over the deceased body.
Yeah.
We see the two lifeguards are there, Devin Walker and our Jane Wickline, new cast member.
Yes. One of our new cast members. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, they pronounced him dead. They did a little moment of silence, and they were like, "Okay, that's good."
A comically short moment of silence. And they're like, should we have a moment of silence? Okay.
Yeah,
It's literally like that long, and it's very funny.
right.
Uh,
So yeah, so the deceased is right there at the top of the slide, sheet over him. Now the EMTs are like, well, now we have to get him down. How can we do that? And
yeah.
then they're like,
There are a lot of
well,
stairs here, right? Oh, yeah. 255. Yeah.
ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot of stairs. And then they sort of just start subtly hinting they should just push him down the water slide.
So,
Um,
like, you know what we could do?
yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
But I love that they just hint around it, and they make Jane Wickline's character verbalize it, and so after that it's her idea. They're like, oh,
Right.
whoa, oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think, I mean, maybe we shouldn't carry him past all these kids. And then they cut to another shot, and there are a bunch of kids just standing there on the side on the stairs.
Yeah. And I do like the premise of the sketch. The fact that
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, of course saying it would be easier just to push him down the slide
right,
would be easier for us, but it's a horrible thing to push a dead body down a slide.
right,
So you can't say that. So you have to sort of dance around it in a
right.
weird way. And
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
main premise of the sketch.
And I was also abused by like some of the child extras are desperate, just happy. They are
Yeah.
like not getting with the moment of like we should be somber. Some of them are just like we're on TV.
Yay! That man is taking a nap.
Yeah. And they're like, well, it seems like he really wanted to go down the water slide. It actually seems respectful to do that way.
Yeah, and then of course Jane is like, well, of course that like this man had a family. Like, how would they feel if they saw his, their loved one's body sliding down the slide and having a picture of it taken? Because like I guess at the bottom of the slide is one of those rides where they automatically take your picture and sell it to you for like $50 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And Nate Bargatze just goes, well, we just wouldn't buy the picture. I mean, like $15. That's kind of a scam.
It's a ripoff, man.
And then Devin's like, oh no, well actually I know the guy who does the pictures, so we could get a deal there. It's like, oh okay.
Yeah. So suddenly Devin's on board for having this deceased body go down the slide. So now that everybody's
Right, and
trying
they
to.
have a vote, and they're like, okay, well, if we do Mary's idea of like pushing him down, And I love how they're just throwing her under the bus when she had nothing to do, and she's the main objector. But it's like now her idea because she's the first one to verbalize it. That was really fun. I mean, it's made all the funnier from because Longfellow and Nate are both so good at deadpan stuff. So
Yeah. I'm
I
glad.
really like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad not Marcelo, Longfellow rather
Hmm.
got a chance to sort of shine in a sketch because he is very good at this sort of matter of factly deadpan type of
Yeah,
comedy, and like so something like this, of course, he would excel at, and sure enough, he did. I really liked his work in this sketch for sure.
yeah, and apparently this is one that he had in the works for a while. So I'm glad they kind of circled back to it, and it worked really well. And I don't know who this would have originally written for, but I can't see it working better than with Bargatze. So
Yeah, no, he was the perfect person for it.
yeah,
Yeah, so then at the end of the sketch, they all agreed to just push this corpse down
hmm
down a water slide, and then that's when Devin's like, "Well, actually, you need two people to do this, like to for the weight, so we can take off." So of
yeah. So you
course,
can go through the loop.
go through the loop, and then the two of them are like, "Oh, I called shotgun." And then,
Yeah,
God damn
and
it!
he has to like wrap his legs around the corpse, and then they cut to like a photo of them coming down out the dog's anus,
God,
which is another totally unnecessary detail, but nicely absurd, and it added a nice thing. I mean, this was sketch of the night for me. I
yeah,
mean, just
such a dark but silly sketch. Yeah,
yeah,
I enjoyed this one.
yeah. I enjoyed this one a lot too. I mean, this was fun. Washington Dreams. It was fun to revisit that, but I mean, this I dug more just because it was original. So
Yeah, it's a new, fresh idea that I hadn't seen before. So yeah,
yeah,
this
old and
one,
busted, new hotness.
that's right. No doubt.
That's right. I went Men in Black 2 on it. Yeah.
Damn, son. All right, all right, Kay.
Old and busted, new hotness.
I make this look good.
Yeah.
Uh,
So next we have our musical guest of the week, a little band called Coldplay.
yes, they can.
Coldplay.
Two songs. We Pray and All My Love, which is
Right.
not a cover of the Led Zeppelin song, which
All of
as I've
my
learned.
love, all of
All
my
of my
love,
love, all of my
all of my
love
love for
to
you.
you. All of my love, get down. Woo! Yeah, it wasn't that.
So,
It was not
yeah,
that.
no, it was, yeah, what we just did, it was not what they did.
It was not what they
Um,
did. I really didn't take any notes for this. Like,
Neither did I. I was just like, yep, that's a Coldplay song, all right. Yep,
yeah,
that's another Coldplay song, all right. And I mean, um, they're fun. I'm not the hugest Coldplay fan in the world. I like some of their stuff. Some of it I'm just like, eh.
yeah. I
But
mean,
this is fine.
yeah. I mean, like the last song, the last Coldplay joint I really liked was maybe Clocks.
Uh
Like that
huh.
was like way back when. But like since then, every song kind of sounds, the same-ish to me. Like
Yeah.
uplifting stadium arena rock that you'd hear at like a FIFA game or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was
so,
about the Vita La Vida.
yeah,
I dug that. But yeah, I haven't really kept up with the Coldplay since. And
yeah, and
yeah, this is fine. Did you
yeah.
notice in the second number when they were doing We Pray that the camera was caught in the shot at one point?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, when one of the backup singers, she was singing, like we saw briefly, like one of the other cameras just like slide right down, and I was like, wow, that hardly ever happens on SNL. So
Oh,
it really caught my attention.
wow. I mean, to be honest, I might not have been in the room when that happened. I might have like gone out for a pee break or gotten some drink of water. I really wasn't paying attention just because I know the Coldplay performances are kind of whatever. And then I went back and rewatched it, and I
Uh
was like,
huh.
yeah, this is what I thought it'd be.
Yeah. Okay.
So Coldplay, nice, inoffensive,
Yep.
palatable.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
they recently announced, I think that their 12th album. I think it's their 12th album. They said that's going to be their last. That's going to be it for them.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, who knows? Daniel
Yeah,
Day Lewis is coming out of retirement, so
yeah. Anything's
anything can
possible.
happen. It's all up in the air now.
That's right. And up is down, left is right. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Absolutely. So, well, not bad.
Yeah. So next we got weekend update with two claps Che and no claps Jost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, it's really cool to see them in this kind of loosey goosey stage of their tenure, where
Uh huh.
the banter is just back and forth, just always sharp. They're just
Mm-hmm.
dishing out jokes. They're not nervous at all. It's pretty much old hat to them at this point. They just
They
couldn't
got
be
their
more.
groove. Yeah.
Yeah, they just couldn't be more comfortable dishing out these jokes.
That's true. That's true. And they've got their rapport down really well. They know the role that each one of them is going to play. They know how they relate to each other. Yeah, it is a nice comfort level, and it's going to be weird when whoever takes over Weekend Update after these guys, which will probably be after this season, I would wager.
I'd be very surprised if they came back for season 51.
Because the news broke this week that like Che's got like some sort of other late night show in the works, right?
Yeah, like I've been seeing Che kind of tweet out some stuff about him kind of doing like this kind of talk show ish type of
Mm-hmm.
show over at the Comedy Cellar, and he's kind of has like other comedians on, and it's a bit of a soft launch. So I think it's like him kind of testing out the waters a bit. But I
Right.
do like the name of the show. It's called "Don't Sleep with Michael Che."
Oh, that's a great name.
It's
Yeah,
a great name. It
that's very
works
funny.
on so many levels.
It
Uh,
does. It does.
yeah, so it seems like Che is getting his ducks in a row in order to make an exit after this season, and I imagine
Right.
Joe kind of has some cooks on the stove happening or now as well. So like I feel like if I was a betting man,
I mean,
I would
I
say
guess he does. He doesn't really have to. The man's married to Scarlett Johansson for crying out loud.
right. Just kick,
He could just retire, become a house husband,
yeah,
and like raise their kids,
buy another
and
ferry.
buy another ferry. I mean, and absolutely no shade. I mean, that's probably what I would do if I were in his shoes.
Yeah, there's a whole fleet of ferries, like
A whole fleet
an
of
armada.
Well, I meant the house husband thing, not
Oh
the
yes,
ferry thing. But
you wouldn't want a fleet of ferries. You want to be
well, who doesn't want a fleet of ferries, really?
you don't want to be a commodore or whatever.
Sure, sure. Um, let's
But
see.
yeah,
I didn't write down too many jokes from this weekend. The two I wrote down were they were talking about how the Biden administration has created 245,000 new jobs, all Diddy accusers.
woo,
Which
take that,
good
Diddy.
joke. What,
Uh,
what was the real number? It was like 120 accusations
something like
against P Diddy.
something like that. I mean, Diddy's been getting away with a lot of heinous shit for a lot of years, so
Yeah,
the
and I
numbers
mean,
don't
just
surprise me.
hearing like I read that story and it was like 120 new accusers and some as young as what was it? Was it like it was like 8 or 9? It was some horrifying number like that, and I was like, I don't know which one of those numbers I find more disturbing.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where
Yes.
he's wealthy enough that he can do whatever he wants, and
Yeah.
people kind
Ugh.
of turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gross.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck to you, Diddy.
Yuck.
You'll never be on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And we were all set to have him on. He was going to become our third co-host.
That's right.
And then we laid down the law and we were just like, no.
Offer
No.
rescinded.
Yeah. No. You know what you did.
Yeah. And guess what? And by the way,
Yeah.
no.
Snoop Dogg offer still open though.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Open door. God forbid horrible things come out about him, but other than that, yes. Snoop Dogg, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I did like the one joke Che had about Trump, about how he
mhm.
refused to release his medical records, and he said, I'm pretty
Right.
sure he knows why, but he's not allowed dementia it.
Yeah. That was clever. That was
Yeah.
cute.
Because Trump's out of his mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And I like the joke about how like the lesbian bar has opened its doors. Well, it's curtains.
Yes.
Um,
It's a great place to, even though you can drink there, it's a great place to eat out.
Yeah,
That's kind of an old joke. I feel like I've heard that street joke before.
probably.
What do lesbians? Where do lesbians go for dinner? Know where they eat out? I don't know.
That sounds like an old joke. Yep.
Yep, heard it on the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
But
all the real education happens.
that's right. Street smarts.
Yeah.
School of hard knocks.
Street smarts.
But yet overall, not a bad weekend update. I felt it was a little
Hmm.
better than last week's, but not too shabby.
Yeah. And we
And
had just one desk segment. We had Jane Wickline come on to sing a song about being a guest at a party. I'm sure this is from her stand-up act.
this gotta be she had to have like auditioned with this.
Yeah, it has
So
high. This is from my stand-up act energy.
yes, but which is good though. We get to meet one of the new cast members,
Hmm.
Jane Wickline, and she's talking about partying, and she talks about I got to party as much as I can now because I'm tall, so I'm gonna die young like a big dog,
Yeah.
which is like wow, that's quite a way to start out with that line.
Hmm.
And yeah, she kind of almost like in a like Bo Burnham style. She kind of sings
Yeah,
a
very
song.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very Bo Burnham-esque talk, and she sings a song about partying. But as you hear the song, it's clear that the party is over, but she's
Hmm.
still like kind of partying. Like she sings about how the DJ is packing up his equipment, and she's like,
Right.
"Oh, that's because he knows we don't need no music to keep this party going."
Yeah,
And
they're
and
clearing up
people,
the chairs, and it's like, yeah, more for the dance floor, and the hosts are going up to bed, and yeah, so
yeah,
it was cute.
yeah. Like I think at the first time I heard this, I didn't quite, jive with it, but on second viewing, I kind of jive with it a little bit more.
You were like, this is my
I
jam.
thought it was okay. Like I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know. I think maybe the first time it was maybe kind of hard to hear at some points. She was kind of mumbling. I don't know if it was nerves or whatnot, but
Hmm.
it was kind of, I don't know. Like I kind of got the vibe she wasn't super used to performing in front of audiences. Maybe like I know, because she comes from the world of TikTok, and I saw one
Hmm.
of our listeners, Manette Moretti, mention this too, where it seemed like she was playing to the camera where she should have been playing to the crowd. And like part of me
Yeah.
wonders, is that because she kind of came up through the TikTok world and she's used to performing in front of, a phone or a camera, and like performing in front of live actual people is might be a little foreign to her. I don't know. Did you get that
Maybe
vibe or is it just me?
a little bit. Yeah, I saw Manette wrote that, and I was like, yeah, I think there may be something to that. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I thought the song was fine enough. I like little lines about like, 6 in the morning, she's still partying. Oh, the
Hmm.
mailman is here. Oh, he must be the stripper.
Yeah.
And I've heard that the police are on their way. It's like great, more strippers.
Yeah. It was clever lyrics. Yeah, I liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And
It painted a word picture.
yes, exactly. Painted a tapestry of pictures, like how
Yes.
the people. She's like she was invited to this party because she was the plus one of somebody who left hours ago,
Hmm.
and then as she keeps going on saying, yeah, that person didn't really know the host of this party either.
Right.
And then at the very end of the song, she's like, yeah, that person I just made up.
Yeah. And the plus one of a plus one of a plus. Yeah. It was cute.
That was cute enough. Yeah.
Hmm.
Weekend update, not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay. Next up, Mile High Burger Challenge. Bam.
Mile High Burger Challenge.
Uh,
This.
this was interesting. Like I'd also like to point out the exterior of the restaurant that they showed.
Uh huh.
I recognize that restaurant. I know exactly where it is.
Oh, really?
I think it's in like in Long Island City. I want to say, or it's somewhere in Queens. But I've definitely been around that restaurant before because that's a very unique
and
exterior.
and do they have a burger challenge?
No, it's just a
Damn
regular
it!
restaurant.
TV lied to us.
I
Damn
know.
it!
Uh,
What the hell?
yeah. So
What
the
the hell? I
premise,
feel so betrayed.
I know it hurts us all, man. We're all hurt.
Yeah.
So the premise of the
They,
sketch,
the SNL writers, they just don't consider the people they hurt in their
yeah,
when they're writing their little sketches.
they don't care about
It's
the hearts they break along the way.
it's not right. It's not right. Like
Bastards.
have some thought for the little people.
Yeah, really. Like,
People are going to go in there expecting to eat a 95-ounce burger in
yes,
10 minutes, and I don't have words for the disappointment they're going to experience.
I know. I'm surprised that people at the restaurant don't complain. Like, I'm sure that people are like, hey, SNL, could you not use the exterior for our restaurant for that because people are here asking for a 95-ounce burger and a jumbo cherry chocolate shake, and we don't have that. We
Right.
serve tilapia
Yeah.
and bok choy, and so we
Yeah.
don't know what to do with all these
And
people.
we're a vegetarian restaurant anyway. I
Yeah,
mean, what the hell? I mean,
yes,
this is a lawsuit in the making here,
it
really.
really is. Live from New York. It's a lawsuit. Am I right,
Yeah.
guys? Am I right?
I see what you did there.
Pow!
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Anyway,
my
it's a family. They're gathering. They're talking about their father, who's not what he once was. So they're kind of talking about what's to be done with him. They're like, it's
uh,
an awkward conversation, but we got to talk about this.
yeah. So it's Sarah Sherman, Mikey Day, Bowen Yang, Heidi
Yeah,
Gardner, and
Nate.
Nate. And
Yeah,
so Nate is dating Heidi, and she's kind of new to the family.
yeah.
And
She's
but
like, hey, I we haven't been together very long, but I went through this with my parents last year, so I'm here for you. To be a resource if you have any questions or anything like that. And then,
yeah,
Dismukes is the waiter. He comes by and he says, hey, here's all your food. And Heidi Gardner's character, your food is going to be here in just a minute.
right. It's a very
And
sad, somber opening so
right,
far.
right,
No
right.
one's playing it for jokes
No.
until
Until they start having the serious discussion, and then Dismukes comes out and he says, "Hey!" and he's like ringing a bell and he's like announcing to the whole restaurant, "Hey, she's done the Mile High Burger Challenge, so she has to finish this 95-ounce burger in under 10 minutes, and the
yeah.
grand prize is a free trip for two to Hawaii."
Yeah, because like at first, how Heidi says, "Oh well, no, I'm sorry, I ordered this by mistake. Because I just
Yeah,
ordered the Mile High burger. I thought it was like a Denver burger that put like a fried egg on it or something. I didn't
right,
expect it to
right,
be this massive tower of meat and buns with a
yeah,
giant ass chocolate milkshake."
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I don't want
That's like
this.
a foot high. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty big.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's when Dismukes is like saying, "Well, if you finish in 10 minutes, you go to Hawaii for free." And then she's like, "Oh, well, all right then, here we go."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
and
yeah.
and she is literally eating this burger in as sloppy a fashion as possible for the rest of the sketch.
Yeah, so the family's trying to have this serious discussion about their father, whose health
Right.
is ailing, and we
Yeah.
just see Heidi chewing on what I guess they actually made a real burger for this. It looked,
No, it had to be real food.
yeah,
She's really chowing it down.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, and
and Sarah at one point she stops and she says like, "Wait, I'm sorry. Are you actually doing this burger challenge right now?" And she's like, "Well, hey, we've never been outside the country." And Sarah says, "Hawaii's in the United States."
yeah, and Bargatze says like, "Well, I doubt that."
Yeah, yeah. At one point, they stop again. They're saying, like, wait, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm soaking the buns, Joey Chestnut style.
Yeah, and then we see Bargatze helping Heidi shovel all this food in her face, and it's just
Right,
she's just covered in burger sauce and
right,
meats and chocolate milkshake. It's
right.
it's a mess. If you have a sensitive gag reflex, this might
Uh-huh.
make you be like horror.
Yeah, and then Dismukes comes in again. He says, there are 5 minutes remaining. That means you can't use your hands anymore.
She's like, ah, great.
And yeah, so she just like dives in, and Nate very helpfully like gets her hair out of her face.
Right. So it's like her like munching down, shoveling all this food in her mouth, saying, "Oh,
Right,
maybe we should just put him in a home, out of sight, out of mind." Uh,
right, right.
we see Bowen breaking a little bit at all
Yeah,
this insanity going on.
Mikey
Um,
starts to break a little
yeah,
bit. I mean, it's yeah,
especially at the point where, as Bowen's starting to break, Mikey just looks at him and says, "Guys, come on. Dad's bones are getting more brittle by the day."
yeah,
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
yeah, yeah. This,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whew.
I look. Heidi went for it. She is undoubtedly the MVP of this episode. I
Yeah.
mean, that was great. I just hope. I kind of hope that this doesn't lead to for her sake. I hope this doesn't lead to a whole series of sketches where she has to finish off like this massive amount of food.
Yeah, I
Um,
hope this doesn't become her thing.
yeah, if this becomes her Lisa from Temecula,
Oh boy.
Oh God, that'll be like a hell of her own making.
Oh yeah. That's. I also like the part where Sarah Sherman is kind of confronting her, saying, "Hey, I think wait, why are you eating all this food? This is actually kind of disrespectful to what we're talking about right now." And
Hmm.
then Heidi, with her hands covered in just chocolate sauce and
Hmm.
burger sauce, like, "Hey, hey!" She puts her hands on Sarah's face. So
Practically putting her fingers in her
I
mouth.
think she
Yeah,
does put her finger in her mouth at one point, and
yeah,
it's like, "Hey,
yeah.
hey, no, just I'm doing this for your father. Just look over there." And she turns her head with her hands, covering Sarah's face and all the sauces, and we
Hmm.
see that their father was actually at this restaurant. He actually completed the Mile High Burger Challenge. So
Yeah,
Heidi's
yeah.
character was like kind of doing this in tribute of her dad,
Right, right.
of their dad. Uh,
There was actually like a long bit towards the end where the camera was just on Mikey and Bowen and Sarah because they had like a lot of dialogue to get through. And but we're seeing them crack up so much. Like obviously Heidi is just still going to town on this burger off camera. And I was like, I kind of wish we had a split screen right now.
yeah,
I wish SNL would like release a special edition of this sketch where it was just a split screen where like one camera's totally on Heidi for the entire sketch.
release the Mile High
'Cause
Burger Challenge cut.
yes, yes, release the Heidi cut.
Release the Heidi cut.
Because I want to see the whole thing because she had to just keep on eating no matter what because you
Yeah,
don't know when the camera's going to cut back to you. So I would
yeah,
like to see the whole thing. I'd like to see what was cracking everybody else up so much, honestly.
yeah, she was just like chowing down on the thing like a rabid dog,
Hmm.
just like
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
it
So
was.
I mean, this was very funny. I think this is a runner up for me for sketch of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's like simple premise, simple sketch, and yes, you
Yeah.
could say it's a bit of a gross out gag joke, but sometimes they work. Sometimes that's all you need. I felt
Look,
like this.
I admired the audaciousness of it. I don't think it would have worked as well if they hadn't paired it with like, oh, we have to put dad in a home. It had to be this ultra serious discussion for this to really work, and I think it really did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
this was a very funny. It was one of my favorites of the night.
Yeah, it was a good one for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And so next up, oh my lord, an SNL digital short in 2024, the year of our Lord.
yeah.
This,
Wow, this is like the first one since 2016. I was reading. This
yeah,
is Sushi Glory Hole. Because we got Andy Samberg in the building, so yeah, we may as well let's do a little Lonely Island up in this joint.
that's right. We got 2/3 of the Lonely Island back up in this bitch with Andy
Right.
Samberg and Akiva Schaffer as
Mm-hmm.
two businessmen trying to pitch an idea to some investors. The investors being
Yeah.
Bowen, Maya, and Keenan,
Mm-hmm.
and of
Yeah.
course their highly profitable. Yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, Springsteen. Their highly
Yeah.
profitable business idea is Sushi Glory Hole, and
Right.
it's
Where
exactly what it says.
instead of strange dicks, you'll be getting a snack.
That's right. It's literally just as simple as that. It's a glory
Yeah.
hole. You just kneel in front of a glory hole and somebody puts sushi in your mouth. There's a
Right.
there's an app
Just
for it so you can find
yeah.
out where to go.
Right. Yeah. It tells you where the closest sushi glory holes are in the city because
Yeah.
you're running around the city. You feel a little peckish. You want a little sushi. And
Yeah.
hey, when don't you want a little sushi when you're running around the city?
Yeah. And of course, as they're pitching this, they're wrapping it, and of course, as they're pitching this, the investors are discussing and they immediately leave, and of course, there's like, hey, wait, here where you going? Hear us out. Just hear us out. Just hear us
Yeah,
out.
hear us out. Hear us out.
Hear us
Yeah,
out.
that's one of the big refrains. And I love the lyric, strictly nigiri coming out of the holes. And they explain it a little more thoroughly and they say, like, hey, look, you got to be careful, though, because, there aren't dicks coming out of the hole here. That's two stalls over, and none of the stalls are labeled.
Yes.
Uh,
So be careful because you could get a dick in your mouth.
yeah. Yeah. And at one point, they're like, they're running through the possibilities. They're like, hey, you're out of the club. You need a little more energy. You're at a sushi restaurant. You don't like the sushi. You can go into a sushi club. It's just so dumb. It's funny.
It's beyond them, yeah. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it still works. I think it's short. It's to the point. It's simple.
I'm not saying I would partake of this service, but
Oh God, no.
I'd at the very least be tempted.
Well, hear us out, John. Just wait. Hear us out. Where are you going?
Yeah,
Hear me
yeah.
out. Just hear us out.
Like if the person handing me the sushi through the glory hole wore gloves, I would at least consider this.
That is true. That is something I didn't think about. Yeah, it is bare hands shoving raw fish and rice into your mouth.
I'm good with the raw fish. I'm good with. Look, I
Are you?
love the sushi.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I love the sushi, but
right.
yeah, glove up.
Okay, but
and
yeah.
Also, I'm gonna look closely just to make sure it's not a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, just to be safe.
I would have some concerns in that area as well.
Yeah.
So those are my two main objections. No gloves on the hands. Possibility of a dick.
No glove, no love.
Other than that, I am down with this.
Yes.
I would look. I love the idea of an app where you could just go somewhere and get some random sushi.
Hey, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a silly, dumb, enjoyable sketch. I thought. Weird, we still haven't gotten like a PDD sketch, but like we're going back to the OGs. Yeah. We're getting
I think it's just taking longer to clean up that pitch and shit, than anybody realized.
Yeah, you really got into nooks and crannies there.
Yeah, I
get
guess
all
so.
that pitch.
Probably have to get a whole new couch. I mean,
but until then, we get sushi glory holes. It's good to see the boys
sushi
back.
Glory hole, yeah. So.
Yeah. And there was one point where like Andy was like kind of rapping, kind of fast and like kind of impressively. It's like, oh shit, he got bars. All right.
Well, they actually have musical skills,
Yeah, but still, you forget, motherfuckers forget. Yeah. You got to let them know. Got to put them on game, son.
Look, these motherfuckers did "I'm on a Boat" and Jack Sparrow.
True.
They got the grooves.
You right.
Yeah, they did Spring Break Song. They married a man.
Yes, they did. Oh wow, they did. Yeah. Wow, it's been forever.
Oh yeah, rewatch that. Still just as funny.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah.
And our 10-1 sketch, we're closing up with Coach Allen.
Coach Allen got halftime at a big football game. The coach is coming in. Dismukes he's giving them a pep talk, and we got Nate Bargatze as Coach Allen, who reminds the team that he still needs $20 for the jerseys.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's basically
pretty much it. Yeah,
the team is losing. They're feeling defeated. We have Dismukes as I guess the assistant coach, trying to amp the guys up.
I think he was the chief coach.
Chief coach?
Yeah,
I
so.
don't know sports.
Yeah, no, I think the hierarchy is because he was the first one to speak.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like he's the head coach.
Okay, so he's the head coach. He was like, "Come on, guys, we got to get out there. We're 8 weeks into the season. We need to win this thing." And then he passes it off to Bargatze as the other coach, and he says, "Yeah, he's more concerned about getting the $20 for the jerseys than he is about the actual
because he hasn't gotten it from everybody.
Yeah, I mean it's 8 weeks. Just ask your mom or dad to give her.
Yeah.
It's like
just go up to the sidelines, ask your mom and dad when you get back out there.
Exactly.
You can write me a check, but you can't make it out to Coach Allen. That's not my name. I can't cash that. You got to use my full name.
Yeah, and of course at the end of the sketch, like all the players are super pumped up and motivated to get Coach Allen that $20.
Right.
What's your Venmo, Coach?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like
I like this. This is just quick and goofy, but I really liked it. It was fun.
It's a lot shorter than I thought it'd be. It feels like they maybe cut it for time, but I think that actually helped it in a way because they were able to
it didn't overstay its welcome. It's just a little over 2 minutes. I mean, it was just a fun, goofy, absurdist thing to end the night on.
Exactly.
I dug it.
Yeah, like they kind of trimmed the fat, just got to the meat of the sketch, in and out, got some laughs. Good way to end the night, I thought.
Yeah. Ended up on an up note.
Absolutely. And then we also got a title card paying tribute to the passing of Chris Christopherson, who hosted the show back in the first season. One of the
first season finale, I think. Yeah.
Oh yes, right. One of the more infamous shows because, from what I've heard, like during dress rehearsal, he was pretty inebriated throughout the dress rehearsal. Yes, that's what the word on the street is, and
that's what the legend is. Huh?
The legend is. So like between the dress rehearsal and them going live, they had to like spend all the time just sobering him up, just pouring coffee into him, and he was able to get through it, but you can definitely tell he kind of slurs some words here and there. Like you could tell he's coming out of his drunken stupor.
Well, I want to go back and watch that episode now.
Yeah. No,
I
it's a
didn't
pretty.
know this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where's that movie, Jason Reitman?
Yeah, get it out there, Jace. But yeah, it's pretty infamous for him being very, very coming out of his drunken haze. But he was still able to deliver. I think he was from the legend. He was so drunk, like some of the other cast members were like kind of learning his lines just in case they had to step in for him and do it for him. But like he was able to pull through, and from what I understand, it was a good episode. But
that's something else. I didn't know that. That's a neat backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, this just reminded me. Did you know that our friend Wally Fairstein, Q Card Wally, he's writing a weekly column for Late Nighter now.
What?
Yeah. This newish website, Late Nighter, which covers all of like late night TV, including SNL. Q Card Wally, he's writing a weekly column on there, and he's telling stories about his whole history with SNL. And I read a column this week. He was talking about when the third time Alec Baldwin hosted SNL, where he co-hosted with his then wife Kim Basinger, and he was talking about just the challenges there, because usually they put the hosts lines in black,
right?
But because they had two hosts, they had to do Alec's lines in black and Kim's in blue. And then that gets kind of confusing because they only have like so many colors. And so, whoever in the cast usually has blue, they have to use a new color, which can throw you that. And, it's kind of fascinating. And he talks about how he took a picture with Kim after the show for his dad, because his dad is a big Kim Basinger fan. And
I mean, who isn't?
With her of Wally and his brother, Spike.
Right.
And
Spike
they were giving the finger to their dad.
Got him.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad. Take that.
So check that out. Go over to latenighter.com. And Wally's got stories to tell, folks.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Wally Ferris. Wally, give it up for Wally. Q Card Wally. Absolutely. Give him a...
Yeah.
Read his words.
Back on sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the episode, guys. Yeah, overall, definitely a step up from last week. Not a bad episode. Yep. Pretty enjoyable, I'd say.
Yep. Good show. I enjoyed myself all the way through. I really liked it. I don't feel like there were any real bad sketches. It was it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, they've gotten their groove back, baby.
Yeah, we got Mikey and Heidi and the Dana Carvey T-shirts again at the Good Nights. That's a cute thing. I hope they keep that up.
I know. I hope so too. Hopefully they'll start selling reselling some of those church lady T-shirts, or maybe in the store or something.
Well, maybe they're still available in the NBC store. Maybe that's where they got them.
Do tell.
I don't know.
All right.
So, but that's fun. I just hope they keep that up. Last week I only noted that Mikey was in a Dana Carvey T-shirt, but Heidi was as well. So I want to give them their proper due. So
got it.
They're showing respect to the king.
Absolutely. Yes. Kiss the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, let's go to the people, see what the folks on Twitter said about this episode. We got a good amount of responses
about that. Yeah. So let's see. We got our friend John Anais at Burton-esque92 says, I try to temper my expectations for most sequels and return visits, including this, and it's a good thing because I thought a lot of this episode was just okay or fairly tepid. For me, the high point was dead guy down the water slide. Loved the premise and the performances. I was braced for a second Washington's Dream, and much like the second David S. Pumpkins, this one was fine unto itself, but I disliked the obligatory sequel nature of it. The final sketch I was really enjoying. I just wish it had been placed earlier and not cut to shreds at 1 a.m.
All right, fair enough.
Sounds more than him, but
yeah. Our good friend Minette Moretti saying, I can't stand sketches that rely on people eating food messy. It's an ick factor that ruins my enjoyment. Which I get it too, but maybe I'm cool with it just because I'm disgusting human being. Who knows?
You are. I've always said this about you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I knew it. I knew you said that about me, you bastard.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm John Trouble, and with me is disgusting human being Darren Patterson.
And
From
I'm your
Boardman.
disgusting human being,
Yeah,
Fabio.
yeah, Fabio.
Call back.
You call back. Our friend Boardman Gets Paid says, "Hi guys, hope all is well. Hope everyone had a great week. Yeah, I was sick for a lot of it. This episode was aight. The opening monologue made me never want to check for this guy's stand up. Ooh, damn.
Whoa. All right.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if you already had a dislike for Nate's stand up from last year, or were you just not familiar? Then he says, but the rest of the sketches made me think, okay, he might be funny. That's really all I got, guys. Love you guys. Peace. Heart.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of not as hot on it as I thought it'd be.
Wow. That's
our good friend
surprising.
next door saying better than last week for sure. The cold open went back to being the worst sketch of the night. Water slide was my high, worked well for Nate, like the airplane sketch last year. Washington's dream was fine, but diminishing returns, like a B plus for the night. I'd agree with
Yeah.
that. A B plus is
Yeah.
about right.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I Heart Hater. Ooh, I bet this person is a Bill Hader fan. Says,
Ooh.
and it's I_Heart_Hater, like Bill Hader. Says, I am so happy for Longfellow. The water slide sketch was so funny. He and Nate Bargatze had excellent chemistry.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'm glad
they played off each other really well.
Yeah, I really like Longfellow. I really hope they give him more to do and more to grow and stretch out. Like, I mean, now he's like a member of the main cast now, so like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's going to get some opportunities to really shine and show what he can do. Which,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
thumbs up, I say.
Yeah.
And then our good friend Techie at Uncle Scrooge DCK saying, "No PDD, you're killing me, Smalls.
Ooh,
Serviceable,
Sandlot reference.
yes, so serviceable, but a lot of repeat humor. Mulaney save us from a generic season." I'm assuming he meant Mulaney.
I think that's a typo for Mulaney. Yeah.
Yeah.
The E is right next to the R on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And, Twitter doesn't have an edit button.
Unless there's a new host that I'm unaware of named Mulaney. I'm assuming it's Mulaney.
Yeah. I think that's a safe assumption. And lastly, Lucho Blanco says, oh boy, you guys are going to hate this one. Featuring some of your top pet peeves: political cold open, minus Trump, lots of cameos, no weird sketches, no PDD, Coldplay, not sure about this one, and plenty of silliness everywhere. Show's best, golf pre-taped, a 5. I'm assuming that's a 5 out of 10. No, actually, we kind of like this one.
Yeah,
Lucho.
I mean, political cold open. It was shorter than last week, so
yeah,
that's a plus.
It was fine. I mean, I did have a couple of objections to that because I felt like they were misportraying what actually happened in the debate a bit, but whatever.
Yeah, no weird sketches. Sushi glory hole. What?
Sushi glory hole. That's pretty weird. I'd say water slide was kind of weird, and the burger one had some nice weirdness. So
yeah. Or even Salvador Gigante is kind of oddball too.
Yeah. Lots of cameos. Really, no more than last week.
It's the same amount, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no, please don't destroy. Yeah. Well, I'm with you there.
Yeah, that's what's happening with our boys? Are they on the show or not?
I want to see them back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they still have an office at 30 Rock, as far as I know. So yeah, maybe they just haven't come up with anything that's made it into the show yet. Or
come on, bring our boys home.
Yeah, I don't know. Coldplay, yeah. I'm fine with Coldplay. When I heard they were going to be musical guests, I was like, that's cool.
It's inoffensive. It's fine.
Yeah, they're not my faves, but whatever.
And plenty of silliness. We like silliness. What do you mean?
We enjoy some silly.
Yeah,
it's a comedy show. We like the silly.
Yeah, we're not stuck up fuddy duddies.
Yeah,
we get silly.
What are you on about, Lucho? What's going on?
Yeah, what's your problem, man?
What's going on?
Yeah. And by the way,
what's going on?
I can't tell if you're doing Joe Biden or Owen Wilson.
I was kind of doing Carvey as Biden, but yeah, I guess it did sort of sound like Owen Wilson. Wow, yeah.
Right.
Sounds kind of like Owen Wilson. Wow, yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Now I want to see Owen Wilson do Biden.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be fun, right?
Oh, my. Brains would break.
Yeah, it really would. So,
Okay.
I don't know. So, Lucho, I hate to tell you, I don't think you really called it.
That's right. You don't know anything about us.
Yeah.
You don't know me, man. You don't know me.
I mean, look, I don't want to get too harsh, but no, we dug this one.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
It had doggies. Come on.
Yeah, that alone gets to 10 points in our book.
That's right. I just love seeing doggies on my late night TV.
Yay!
Yeah.
Damn straight. So that's the episode, guys. Thanks again for listening as always. Next week, we got Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks. I still can't believe she's doing the show.
Yeah, that's funky, right?
It is. Just because, I'm used to just some young, new, hip, artist that, I'm not familiar with because I'm not on the TikToks. But so they're getting, this, this seasoned vet, this stalwart of the music industry, Stevie Nicks, to be on the show. So I'm like, wow, I applaud that. I look forward to that. I mean, stand back.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going to happen there?
I know she has some new songs out. I think she's coming out with a new album, so she'll probably do some stuff off that. But if she does something like Edge of 17 or something like that, I'll lose my mind.
That would be cool.
Yes, I'll be dancing.
We'll have a callback
Sorry?
to her. Do you think we'll have a callback to the sketch about Stevie Nicks's fajita?
I don't. That's too much of a deep cut for. The world ain't ready for that. You got to get Lucy Lawless back in there and fly her in. I don't think we're gonna get that. It'd be nice, but I don't think so.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
Maybe just somebody hands her a fajita at some point in the evening.
Ooh, that'd be tight.
Have a fajita glory hole.
Yeah. Oh boy! Wow, that's the $1 million idea, my friend.
Yeah, let's copyright that.
Let's do it. Bam. So next week, Ariana Grande, Stevie Nicks. Join us, won't you? But until then, you can follow us on the Twitters because we refuse to call it X at SNL Nerds Show. And you can follow me, myself, and I on all the social medias at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
Yeah, and if you don't want to follow Darren, but you want to follow me,
what?
You can follow me at Trumbull Comic. I actually had a viral tweet this week. So,
ooh.
Yeah, I got to keep an eye on me and see what's going on. Yeah,
wow. Look at you. You're all Gen Z, aren't you, there?
I know. It was one of the dumber jokes I've ever made. And it got 238K likes. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know.
That's what the Twitter there's been so many times I've put out well thought out jokes and whatnot out there and it gets nothing. I tweet out something that it took me
the stupidest thing.
Yeah, something I thought of while I was on the toilet and it fucking shoots up like a rocket ship. So I'm like, what?
You never know. Every time I have gone viral, it's been on accident. It's never the thing you think. It's nuts. I don't know if that just means we're not the best judges of our own material or people have weird taste or what. But anyway.
That's right, people.
You want to see more of that craziness, I'm at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL in the word comic. So.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess that's it.
So we're just going to, peter out and So next week, Ariana Grande, Stevie Nicks. Is she in that the Wicked movie?
She is. She's one of the leads. She plays Glenda the Good Witch, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes, and also in that movie Wicked, Mr. Bowen Yang. So I'm sure that both of them are going to have some sketches together.
We got to have a Wicked sketch next week, right?
I probably yeah.
I'm calling it now. We're going to have a Wicked sketch.
Ooh, place your bets, people.
Yep. So come back here and see if I was right about that next week with Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks. But until then, Nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.